Hi, welcome back to another CSRM podcast. And again, we're here at the Reach Gathering, and we are wrapping things up. We've just spent 4 days together, some of us, 5 for others, but 3 real solid days, and you just got to come next year. We were just so blessed this year, and I'm joined now with one of our key sponsors for Reach, Richard Harrod. And Richard, you have helped make this whole thing happen. We just want to say thank you to begin with. But we also want to hear some things because there's some exciting things in the future around BSN sports. But before we get to that, tell us a little bit about how you even got involved with Reach. What was your first experience? And we'll start there. How did you get involved with Reach?
Well, first of all, it started with being able to have an opportunity to go to work for BSN Sports. I spent 30 years in telecommunications, never thought I'd be in sporting goods. And what I didn't know at the interview was that they were looking for someone to sell to churches.
Wow.
So
okay.
When I walked out of the interview, it was like, okay, God, I get it. I understand. So fast forward, I've been working for 8.5 years, working with nothing but churches. In the beginning, there were just 2 of us that called on nothing but churches. And then after 8.5 years, I had a new vice president. I wrote a business plan. He saw the vision, and now we have evolved into BSN Sports Church.
Church Division.
Church Division, yes. Now, granted, it's a small division. We serve churches all across the country.
Right.
We added another person to the group. We now have our own website, soon to be catalog. So we're very excited about just the opportunity to serve more churches.
Well, we want to hear more about that. And as you know, with CSRM and those of you that are listening or watching into this podcast, you are aware of the fact that we are trying to provide to you the best that we can possibly give you in terms of all these things, the resources, all of the connections. And we've come to know and trust BSN. And everybody that's ever dealt with BSN has been very well pleased with that. And as you might even hear some background noise here, we're kind of wrapping up at Reach. You had a booth here. You were exhibitor here. You got to contact people. We're happy for that. But you also came to this not only from that perspective, but you've also got a little bit of a church sports background as well, right?
Oh, yeah. In fact, I'm blessed to serve as a deacon at my church at Prestonwood in Plano, Texas, Dr. Jack Graham. Been there for 14 years now. It's been pretty awesome. Played softball with my son in their PSO, Prestonwood Sports Organization. My little grandson is involved in soccer now. It's a joy to watch him play. I was able to present this year on how to work with challenging parents in the sports ministry. So
Okay, now let's stop there.
Okay.
Because part of what happens at Reach is that we have these tracks. And the tracks are continuations of kind of the same theme. And one of them is in the youth sport, so like these leagues you're talking about. And your session in that youth track had an interesting title. It was what?
Yeah, turning hotheads into warm hearts.
Turning hotheads into warm hearts.
Yeah, we tried to identify who are the challenging parents. Why do they conduct themselves like they do? And how can we, I guess, minister to them in such a way that they'll hopefully change their ways and see a better way of encouraging, if you want to call it that, and not yelling at the refs and all those types of things. So it was an interesting experience because I learned so much doing the research and putting this all together. I felt like it was well received. I'm blessed to have been able to present.
Now, all of you that are watching or listening, Richard really is the model for us because not only does he come and exhibit here and connect people with the kind of resources that they might need in their sports and rec ministry, but he said, I'm feeling more than that. I want to help out. And he became a presenter here. I wish we had everybody like you, Richard, because of your heart and also your knowledge and the way that you have just sensed how the Lord is working in your life.
Yeah, the way I present myself to my customers is, look, hey, it's just sporting goods. but it's a small way to make a difference for the kingdom.
Yeah.
Because I believe that every dollar I can save my customers and still keep my job,
Yeah.
then those are dollars that they can go to reach people through sports ministry. And hey, at the end of the day, that's what it's about anyway.
Now let's take that for a moment. You got to keep a job.
Right.
And can I speak to my brethren here that are out there? We in the church, I need to apologize to you, Richard, on behalf of all of our church people, because we want everything for nothing. All right?
Yeah.
I mean, let's just be honest. Because you that are listening, you that are watching, you've got your executive pastors and senior pastor, and you've got all your economic boards, your finance boards, and they're saying, cut the expenses, cut the expenses, cut the expenses. But if they don't pay enough money, you don't have a job. And then let's go see what they can get those products for.
Yeah, I see that. But we're blessed to be a part of a massive organization. Not being braggadocious, we're actually $1 billion company.
Yeah.
Because we serve every school, university, parks and rec, city leagues, and the church division gets to piggyback off of that buying power.
That's right.
And pass it on to the customers.
That's right.
So.
And I realize that a lot of you might have a local vendor that is really true to you, and you should do that and stay with those people. But we're not at all saying that. But if you are in the need of this, and your finance board is saying, well, go get 3 quotes, we can save you 2 of them, all right? Because this one, we're not sitting here vouching unless we know that you're going to have the absolute best you can possibly have in this.
Yeah.
Now, this may be coming across like we're trying to sell you something, and to a degree we are. But it's reality. But it's not stuff. We're not trying to sell you stuff you don't need or don't want. We're trying to make you the stuff. We're trying to provide you an opportunity to save yourself time, to save yourself effort, to save all that kind of stuff, and know that you're going to get a quality thing. And you also have our guarantee from CSRM that if this guy doesn't do his job, I'm going to be on his phone, on his doorstep, and saying, take care of our people. And you always have.
Yeah, well, appreciate that. And I just want to mention very briefly, the church division within BSN is built on 3 pillars. We really do service the entire church. You've known us over the years for equipment. We used to be 70% equipment, 30% apparel. It's flipped now. 70% apparel. We do staff apparel, summer camp T-shirts, and mission trip T-shirts. It's flipped now to 70% apparel, 30% equipment. And then that's one pillar that it's built on. The second pillar is staff apparel and any type of promotional items, coffee cups, drawstring string bags or whatever, things like that, maybe paraphernalia for a golf tournament or whatever. And then the third pillar is we service the needs of children's departments. We have a product called Open that you can go online and get free curriculum. So if a children's pastor was newly hired and they didn't know what they were doing, go out, access the curriculum. Yes, we sell products to, complement the curriculum through our U.S. Games division, but we do try to cover the needs of the entire church.
Again, for those of you that missed Reach this year, we want you to understand this is the kind of connections that you're going to get when you come to Reach. But I also, part of what we do at Reach and part of what we do with the foundational partners that help put on Reach, Richard, we try to instruct them, we try to inform them, and try to help them gain vigilance of how they can better do these kinds of things. Educate our people a little bit here. What are the maybe pet peeves you have in working with a local church person? If a local church person wanted to do this in an excellent way, in an honoring way, in a forthright way with you, how should they approach you? How should they approach a vendor in this way?
It's a matter.
Go ahead.
Really?
What's the best way to get a hold of you and make it easy and helpful for you?
We just try to connect. We try to convey the fact that we're not just here as someone where you can buy something. Yes, we have products, we sell products. We're looking for more of a connection because our real mission statement centers around serving the needs. Church people are going to identify with that. They understand the concept of serving because that's what they do every day. Mm-hmm. And so when they reach out, all they need to convey to us is we're trying to serve the needs of our sports ministry in the most economical way. We want quality products. We want a good selection. But that's all they have to do is just connect with us, give us a list of the items they're looking for. We'll put together items that are specific to their budget.
I was just going to ask, is it helpful for them to come and say, this is my budget?
Oh, yeah. In fact, a lot of times they're reluctant to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just looking for the best price. Okay, let's talk about, we have so many, we have name brand products, but if a church is on a budget and they need a $5 t-shirt, we're there to help.
Now, they're not going to get the quality of a $25 shirt.
You'd be surprised these days.
Well, okay.
Just because of our buying power.
Okay.
Like soft style t-shirts, people think, oh, that's a better. Well, not necessarily.
All right, so share with them, this is my budget, this is what I need, and also probably deadlines.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's really critical in this industry. And we're able to accomplish that by having, number one, the buying power, so we have the product, right? We strategically locate our decorators that are going to do silk screening and embroidery strategically across the country in close proximity to the churches that we serve, so that maybe it's just a one-day ship. It's going to get the product to them a lot quicker. So as long as we're given a couple of weeks, we can meet that deadline.
Are they going to need to figure out how they get their logo to you, and they're going to make their church specific? Is there...
Well, what's interesting about that is a lot of the companies that you deal with, they'll have setup fees, they'll have
Right.
artwork fees and so
Right.
forth. You send us a PDF, it's done. We
Okay.
send it to our art department, we create the logo in the format that the decorator needs. It's seamless.
And then they say, this is our color scheme, this is our logo, and you make it happen.
Correct. Without any fees involved, we just charge for what it costs to do the embroidery or silk screening on the
Right.
shirt.
All right, folks, I think you're learning some stuff, you're being impacted in this way, but what you need to be understanding is we're expecting you to develop a relationship, and we're expecting you to treat Richard, BSN, all these folks with the same kind of honor that you'd want to be treated with. But share just maybe a personal testimony too. What's God been doing in your life recently?
It's been amazing. After 8.5 years, seeing this BSN Church Division has energized me. I don't know if you happen to notice or not, but I'm not exactly the proverbial spring chicken. But this has invigorated me
Yes.
to the point that I know now that we have a vehicle within BSN to serve even more churches.
Yeah.
That's what's got me excited lately. A lot of times we're guilty of saying, okay, here's my plan, God. Come over here and help me out. No. If you line up with His plan, it's so much better. And when you let it go and not be worried about the next step, the next process, but take those steps in faith, and you're going to be so much happier.
And you even had an experience at Reach that kind of brought that home for you. You were sharing with me that you were sitting in the back listening at one of the main sessions a year ago, and you said God was getting a hold of your heart.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. In fact, this is not about a vendor coming to a conference and selling things. It's more about the connections, and I prayed before I get here every single time that God would meet me here. And I'm telling you guys, if you do that, He will meet you here. And He opened my heart to just a lot of different things that He wants to do in my life, and I'm doing my best to be obedient to that. Now, where He's going with it, I don't know, but I trust Him implicitly. So
It's fun to see that journey. It's fun to see what God's doing. And it's just a blessing to know that you're helping other people doing this. You're enabling their ministry to other people.
Well, the exciting part is just all the relationships that you develop, not just, like I said, vendor to customer. It's more about those deeper relationships. I've actually developed prayer partners through the Reach Gathering Ministry.
Yeah.
So I look forward to it each year.
All right, so if you're listening to this, you're going to need to get on our website, and you're going to need to get the contact information and all that. If you're watching this, it's coming up on your screen. You're going to be able to have all that you need to get a hold of Richard. But I just want to thank you for taking some time out of your packing up and getting ready to go, and we're all heading towards home. But next year, we're coming back. Next year, the end of March, through the first couple days of April. We're going to see all of you that are watching this, aren't we? Remember, there's discounted prices if you register soon, right away. Discounted prices. Thank you, Richard.
All right. Thank you.
God bless you.
God bless you, brother.